Thank you very much to Baba Unyawose, convener waseThekwini. He also doubled up, was osnika an update about what is happening with Metro, the only one we have in the province, Siyabonga. Angisezuku introduce myself because my co-program director did a sterling job. Sizoyishaya le program isheshe nje kakhulu because 2 items after the next one is going to be ama status, so sizopusha. Kukhona ne performance that we looking forward to. The deputy convener earlier, when he acknowledged the guest, he did say ukuthi uzobelokhu ebuya kwi-program because all of you are special guests that the movement is honored to have. So it gives me the honor again to invite the deputy convener, Umthombeni, to come back azoqhubeka nelist yakhe yokusi-acknowledgela some of the special guests for tonight. Umthombeni.
Thank you so much, program directors. In the Hebrew context, they don't have the word called coincidence. If I might not have acknowledged these guests initially, it's either they were not written or there was a reason behind that they must be stated right now in this fashion. In our midst, we've got Comrade Jeff Hatebe, who is the former PTT convener in the province of KwaZulu-Natal with many heads. He's been in the Department of Transport, he's been in Public Works, he's been in different platforms as an NEC member. We acknowledge you, Pungane, and we are so glad and delighted that you are able to grace these shows. Singamshayela izandla leadership, umcimbi wethu uhamba kahle. In our midst, we've got Comrade Zandile Gumede, the former chair of eThekwini region. Wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo. She has played different roles as well as the former mayor of eThekwini, former MPL. We are so delighted. We feel so warm with your presence. In our midst, we have Comrade Uthemba Mthembu, former provincial secretary and the longest secretary of SACP in South Africa. They might have some things, but the ideology of the left is still centered and embedded within the ANC. Nanka amakomane sakhona la ngaphakathi kwethu ayingxenye ayawublessa lo mcimbi. So we do want to acknowledge. Ukhona ke umdidiyeli wama-election KwaZulu-Natal. Ekubalulekile ukuthi simusho uComrade uSuper Zuma is also amongst us njenge-PTT member, but ekubalulekile ukuthi simgqamise ngoba uyafana nebhele njengoba edidiyela nje ibhele liphinde liphathe nesitshwebhu ke lona lapha phezulu. Naye kunqamala liphinde aphathe isitshwebhu lana. We do have ngoba sim-acknowledgeile uMagutshwa uMEC Hlomuka responsible for education futhi othole unumber 1 eSouth Africa yonke. Siyabonga kakhulu program directors.
Siyabonga kakhulu Mthombeni. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to invite the speaker who's going to outline for us the purpose for tonight. You have heard the people acknowledge come from various sectors, and some are within the family of the Mass Democratic Movement. So I would like to invite Umdidiyeli kwi province coordinator uZwide ukuthi asondele. Ngizoba ke nenkinga yokuthi kuzoba ne slip of the tongue. How does Alex say Comrade James Nxumalo? Izinto enjene zangiqhatha nohlabangane many years ago. Those about my 2K ke abazi ukuthi the province of KwaZulu-Natal once had a very interesting character called Dr. LPHM Mtshali. Undiema noDumsan Makhaya abamazi kahle mantshega. So ladies and gentlemen, Comrade James Nxumalo, the coordinator wesifundazwe.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much, program directors, Mfokamthiane, Nurses Joy Mbewana. And I think before I proceed, you deserve a very big round of applause for conducting this program. Let me acknowledge amakhosi asendlunkulu akhona, nabefundisi bonke abakhona belizwi. Ngoba lo mbutho wesizwe wakhiwa ngamakhosi kanjalo nabefundisi. Let me acknowledge the leadership of the African National Congress, members of the NEC who have been acknowledged, led by the convener of KwaZulu-Natal, Comrade Dixon Masmola, Comrade Tau. The leadership of the African National Congress in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, PTT, led by Comrade Ndiema, Comrade Michael Mabuya Kulu, who is the convener of the province. Former leaders of the African National Congress who are here and our stalwarts. The leadership of our leagues, the Veterans League, is Twalande zonke zikhona nabanikazi balo mbutho wesizwe. The leadership of the Women's League and the leadership of the ANC Youth League and the leadership of the MKLWV. The leadership of the Alliance, COSATU and SANCO. We also acknowledge the presence of Comrade Mvelase from the South African Communist Party. The leadership of the ANC in eThekwini region, Comrade Thabani Nyawo and the entire leadership. The leadership of our branches, Bingelele kakhulu bonke somabhizinisi abakhona. The leadership from our business, Chamber of Commerce, professionals and intelligentsia, civil society, ratepayers associations, women and the youth, people with disability, and LGBTQI plus community, comrades, friends, our guest tonight, Sanibona ngiyanibingelela. Sanibonani. Important to host this evening to start this very important conversation to look at how we have started to work together to develop partnerships between all of us and create lives for the betterment of our people. We meet at a time when our people face hardship, unemployment, and frustrations. And we cannot ignore this, but we are here to say, as the African National Congress is correcting itself, renewing itself, and returning to its true mission to be humble, disciplined, and the servant of the people, and live and lead with humility, and dignity. So tonight, program directors, ladies and gentlemen, let us leave this hall with one purpose, on 4 pillars as I learned. 1, service, reminding everyone that the ANC exists to serve the people. 2, unity, bring together all our people under one roof and solve our problems together. Unity is paramount. 3, renewal, to say to you, the ANC is committing to self-correct and disciplined leadership, and to lead with humility and to lead with dignity. 4, partnership. We want to stress that solutions for the problems of the people of KwaZulu-Natal cannot be only resolved by the African National Congress only, but it is our problems and our collective responsibility that we all solve them, not just the ANC alone. That's why we are all here together. Lastly, action. We want to live here tonight with a shared purpose to rebuild trust, fix local government, to serve our people, and defend our hard-won democracy. And let us work together again as we did before. Kukude lesisuka khona. Akukho okungasihlukanisa noma ngathiwa sekwenze njani. We need one another. The ANC is your home, and the ANC is your voice, and together we shall rise again. Amandla, ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Oh baba yidele ndlela, yidele ndlela. Thank you. Funa. Khona social lapha ngesoprano funa. Anibashayele band yampela. Sihlalisa phansi leadership. Bengingaculi yazi bengifuna ukubheka ukuthi akhona amanina. Yindele ndlela. Oh baba yindele ndlela. Oh baba yindele ndlela. Oh ifuna abalungileyo. Ayona ifuna abalungileyo. Oh baba yindele ndlela. Oh baba yindele ndlela. Oh baba yindele ndlela. Oh baba yindele ndlela. Oh Thank you so much, Comrade James. Yo, kusukhulumile. Angisafuni nokuyona. Ushiya ngalazi. Ngiyozwa ukuthi umuntu ukhulume washiya ngalazi. Ifuna ukwetshiswa lenkulumo. Niyalizwa ke leliculo bomama ukuthi lijwayele ukusikhinya laba mase silicula. Lifuna uhlisa ukhiya. Yabona makufika lo ifuna. Hey, kanti ingoma ekhulumayo le. Without wasting time, sine band, ngicela nibe nishayela izandla le band. Ngizobe ngisixoxa istory sabo nestory sikaMlitha. This is Mlitha. Ngizodedela enye i-creative worker eza ngaphambili angazi noma usekhona athi nje ngoba kuthiwa kungena i-starter. While we having i-starter, you're gonna have music. I believe ukuthi usekhona. Are you ready? Angimboni. Ukhona. Unaima K? Show me an indication. Ha, baby. So I'm going to call the Queen of the South. Izosinikeza umuntu kushuthi iband angazi noma nizothi step down noma nizohlehla ukuze nithi ukuthatha break. You can stay uthi ke kuhle ningahlala. Kunama refreshments ekwazi kwanzima kuba uMC. Ngiyanibuka lapho niyadla kodwa ke mo MC nje uyafana sibe sifane nabafundisi. Athi umfundisi esezoqala emncwabeni mase kufanele kushumele umfundisi kuthiwa hayi ibhasi selifikile. Sicela baba umfundisi uthi ukusheshisa isikhathi sesiphelile. Angithi ningenize ibhlungu kanjani. Sebekhuluma mase kuzomfundisi nje kuthiwa hey baba sicela bandla ushaya ngamafuphi ngoba ibhasi selifikile. I think the Queen of the South is ready. My beautiful sister, Naima K. 1 minute. Okay, asibesicula kasimlinde ngengoma. Sothini kambe band yami? Sothini. La kuchoni langa. Heshe yago. Lambo. Come on. It's a nice relay. Ngiyazi ma comrade nhlezi nisema rallyini, nisema meetingini, ziningi inkinga zaZulu Natal, just enjoy. Niyafa ama meeting. Oqala nje nibizwa amasela nibadala ngake. Ake enjoy. Nizomnikela mase ready. Pheshe yago mlambo ndakucinga ngawe la kuchoni langa yokuhamba ndikufuna abengaculi yokuhamba ndikufuna agcinane nokucula ndize ndikufumane lakuchoni langa Pheshe yabo lambo ndakucinga ngawe lakuchoni langa yokuhamba ndi ezibhedlela nasemadilongweni ezibhedlela emadilongweni ondize digufumane lakutshonelanga. Thank you. Hey, ngiyanitshengisa ukuthi ngupresident wama-artist angikethwanga kuqeda kuthandazwa. Thank you.
Uthando lwethu luvutha amalangabi lomlilo uzovuthi kunaphakade hey ngithi lomlilo uzovuthi kunaphakade asivele sishaye kunapha ngithi lomlilo mina ngithi lomlilo uzovutha can I see your hands lomlilo ngithi lomlilo uzovutha let's go. It's a lomlilo, uzovutha. It's a lomlilo, mina ngithi lomlilo, uzovutha. Bekunaphakade, sanibonani, ninjani kodwa? Lalela, the ANC forever. We know the story, Mos. Akekho ngasivimba ngithi. Because we all believe in love. So the next song, ngiyazi ukuthi wonke umuntu olagama. Guys, please. We all know this song. It's Sukuma ishaya izandla. But only if you still believe wethando ongihlukumezile thando ngabe ngoye asihlali ke lapho baby niwenze njani na wasushintsha kangaka mina nawe we used to like a river we would agree on everything yazi ushintshiswa yini Okay, this is my last song, guys. Ngicela sivele siyenzeni. Sithando sami, oh sithando sami, ungalalela baba. Abasifiseli okuhle. Banjani na? Bathanda masixolana njalo. Sithando sami baby. Sithando sami baby. Baba. Abaxabanisi wona bazabani. Can I say sithando sami, sithando sami. Oh, sithando sami, ungalalela baba. Abasifiseli banjani na? Bathanda masixolana njalo. Sithando sami baby. Sithando sami baby. We out. Thank you so much. The name is Naima K, the queen of the sound. Dicela ukuhlakanipha uvule ingqondo yami. Dicela ukuphumelela obesundipha. Dicela uvule ingqondo yami. Dicela ukuphumelela obesundipha. Let's go. Thank you so much.
Siyabonga, ladies and gentlemen, asinikeze uNaima K another big round of applause. We are running behind schedule. I'm going to ask that we return to our seats. I know as we were enjoying the performance, we also used it as the opportunity to network and engage. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to proceed with the business of the evening. Siyabonga. The next speaker that I'm about to invite on stage is going to give us a reflection about the unity of the movement. And Ungu Magade Ebona, not only Mbutweni ANC, but in South Africa as a whole, having recently served as the provincial convener. He has held so many portfolios in the national government, having started as the Minister of Public Works and later led the Department of Public Enterprises. At some point, he was the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development and served also as a Minister of Energy and was the Minister in the Presidency. As people of KwaZulu-Natal would remember, there was a very tragic incident when South Africans, some of them perished brutally incident in Nigeria. At the time, he was the official spokesperson of the government, and he would give us some update and he is affectionately known as Umfana Wagwamashu. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now inviting former convener.
Thank you. Amandla. The directors of the program, the leadership of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, led by the convener, Comrade Mike Mabuya Kulu, the members of the National Executive Committee, led by Comrade Dixon Masimula, the convener of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, which also includes our Speaker of the National Assembly, Comrade Togo Tideza, our leaders of the Alliance, traditional leadership that has already been acknowledged, religious leaders, business, representatives of civil society, all distinguished guests who are gathered here this evening. Allow me to express my sincere appreciation to the leadership of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal for convening this very important gathering. More importantly, allow me to thank each and every one of you for choosing to be here this evening. For in truth, we are not gathered here in a convention center, but we are gathered in history. We are gathered in the presence of those who came before us. We are gathered in the shadow of sacrifices we ourselves did not make, yet continue to benefit from it every single day. We are gathered here in the company of dreams that began before any of us were born. We are gathered here as custodians of our motherland. This province of KwaZulu-Natal has always been central in the shaping of South African history. KwaZulu-Natal is not simply a geographic location. It is one of the sacred chapters in the story of our land, South Africa. It is home of Chief Albert Lutuli, of Moses Mabhida, of Herigwa. This is home of countless heroines and heroes whose names may never appear in textbooks, but whose sacrifices help build the foundations of our constitutional democracy. This province has produced giants, but perhaps more importantly, it has produced ordinary people who did extraordinary things. We can refer to workers, to teachers, to students, religious leadership, traditional leadership, farm laborers, community activists, mothers and fathers who chose courage over comfort. People who believed in a South Africa that they will never see. And that may be the greatest lesson in history that offers us. The greatest builders of nations are often those who plant trees knowing that they will never sit beneath their shade. KwaZulu-Natal also understands something that has been very pervasive in our historic context, which is the terrible pain and cost of divisions.
the pain of conflict, the pain and impact communities when they are torn apart. Yet we also understand reconciliation, resilience, reconstruction, and that peace is never inherited but built. On a daily basis, through dialogue, through leadership, through courage, and through sacrifice. If our beloved land is to discover unity and a shared purpose, KwaZulu-Natal can once again help lead the way. It is perhaps fitting that we gather under this Albert Luthuli Convention Center, for Chief Luthuli understood something that every generation of leaders must eventually learn. He understood that leadership is not measured by authority over others, but by service to others. He understood that moral authority cannot be demanded, but must be earned. He understood that positions do not create legitimacy. Rather, character creates legitimacy. He understood that the purpose of political leadership is not self-preservation, but nation building. Honored guest, at a time when politics across the world is increasingly defined by personality, spectacle, and division, Chief Lutuli's life reminds us that humility remains one of the highest forms of leadership. His greatest lesson was perhaps that a leader's true legacy is not what he or she accumulates for himself or herself, but what he leaves behind for others. Our country needs that lesson now more than ever before. Why, therefore, the necessity of unity amongst progressive forces? Allow me, therefore, to say, unity is not a slogan. Unity is not a photograph. Unity is not a conference resolution. Unity is not a temporary electoral arrangement. Unity is not uniformity. Unity is the recognition that our future is greater than our differences. Unity is the wisdom to understand that no individual possesses all the answers. No organization possesses all the wisdom. No leader possesses all the truth. And no generation possesses a monopoly on patriotism. Progressive forces must unite not because they agree on everything. They must unite because poverty does not care about organizational affiliation. Unemployment does not care about factions. Hunger does not care about ideology. Crime does not care about conference outcomes. Inequality does not care who occupies the office. The challenges that confront our people are larger than all of us. The future, therefore, demands cooperation greater than our differences and purpose greater than our own ambitions. Yet unity by itself is not enough. The question is, and should be, unity for what purpose? Progressive forces cannot unite merely to occupy positions. They cannot unite merely to win the oncoming local government elections. They need not unite merely to defeat opponents. They must unite around a principled program, a program to defeat poverty, a program to industrialize our economy, a program to create jobs at scale, a program to build a capable developmental state, a program to restore ethical leadership, a program to expand opportunity for our young people, a program to deepen democracy and social cohesion. Unity without purpose eventually fragments. The unity anchored in a common mission becomes a very powerful force for national transformation. There are many comrades across South Africa who do not currently occupy positions in our structures. Some are professionals, some are business people, academics, some are activists, some are religious leaders, some are veterans, some became disappointed, some became disillusioned, some drifted away, some were pushed away, some chose different paths. Yet many continue to carry the values of the struggle in their hearts. Would be making a profound mistake if we measured commitment solely by position. The struggle for South Africa is larger than structures, larger than titles, larger than conferences, larger than elections. We need every patriot. We need every progressive force and voice. We need every South African willing to place their country above self-interest. Comrades, our destiny has never been separate from that of the African continent. The freedom that we enjoy today was not secured by South Africans alone. It was sustained by the solidarity of African nations who opened their borders, their homes, and their hearts to our struggle. Across this great continent, ordinary Africans carried part of the burden of South Africa's liberation. They paid a price for a freedom they themselves would never vote for. We therefore have a responsibility not only to South Africa, but to Africa and to the progressive global South. South Africa rises with Africa, and equally, South Africa falls with Africa. Our future prosperity, security, and development are inseparable from the prosperity, security, and development of the continent itself. The spirit of African solidarity that helps secure our freedom must now help secure our future. We must stop asking, which structures are you in? And begin asking, how do we build South Africa and Africa together? Permit me to state that many people did not go to prison so that South Africans could hate one another. We did not go into exile so that South Africans could fear one another. We did not bury our comrades so South Africans could abandon one another. We did not struggle so that future generations could inherit division. We struggled because we believed something very profound. That despite our differences, despite our races, our languages, our cultures, our religions, our histories, we have a common destiny. That belief remains as important today as it was yesterday, and it will remain so as important tomorrow. As this is the Youth Month, the month of June, permit me to briefly speak to the youth as well. Our youth must not be spectators of history. They must become authors of it. The youth must not inherit cynicism from those who have lost hope. They must inherit a courage from those who change history. Every generation believes its challenges are unprecedented. Yet every generation is ultimately judged by whether it confronted those challenges or surrendered to them. The South Africa that the youth seeks will not simply be delivered to you. You must help build it. The future belongs to all those who complain about history. The South Africa you seek will not simply be delivered to you. You must help build it. The future belongs not to those who complain about history. It belongs to those, and therefore the generation of our young people is not the problem. The generation is one of the greatest assets the country possesses. Your energy, your creativity, your innovation, your resilience, your determination. These are the resources our nation cannot afford to waste. South Africa needs you, not tomorrow, but today. Every generation inherits unfinished work. The generation of Chief Luthuli inherited colonial oppression. The generation of President Mandela and Tambo inherited apartheid and exile. The generation of Walter Sisulu inherited imprisonment. The generation of 1994 inherited democratic transition. Our generation has inherited something different. We have inherited the responsibility to ensure that freedom produces dignity, that democracy produces opportunity, that equality before the law becomes equality, that young people inherited not merely rights but future, that hope becomes visible, that dignity becomes real, that freedom becomes tangible. That's here, comrades, there's another challenge confronting this generation. The greatest poverty in many nations today is no longer material poverty. It is poverty of purpose. It is when politics becomes a competition for positions rather than a struggle for human progress. It is when leadership becomes a pathway to privilege rather than a pathway to service. It is when public office becomes something to possess rather than something to sacrifice for. It is when organizations forget why it was built. Nations rarely collapse because they run out of resources. They collapse when they run out of purpose. Organizations really decline because they run out of members. They decline when they run out of moral direction. Our task, therefore, is not merely to win elections, as I just said. Our task is to restore purpose, to restore credibility, to restore trust, to restore belief, and to restore hope. Nations are always built twice. First, in the imagination of those who dream of them. And secondly, then in the labor of those willing to sacrifice for them. That's why the generation of Luthuli imagined a free South Africa. The generation of Tambo carried that dream across continents. The generation of Mandela transformed that dream into democracy. Our generation has inherited a different responsibility. We must transform that freedom into dignity. We must transform democracy into opportunity. We must transform constitutional promise into lived experience of people. That dream has been handed to us. The labor now belongs to us. Before history judges us, there's one final question that we must all answer. What is the purpose of the ANC in the 21st century? Is it to govern or is it to transform society? Is it to manage institutions or to advance the aspirations of the people? Or is it merely to inherit a legacy or to create one? The generation of Luthuli answered that. So was Tambo, so was President Mandela. History now is waiting for our answer. Future generations will judge us not by what we inherited, but what we have built. One day, most of us who are gathered here this evening will not be occupying the positions they currently hold. One day, there will be no ministers, no NEC members, no provincial leaders, no titles, no offices, no convoys, no privileges. History will remove all those. As history is very indifferent to titles, it is indifferent to status. It is indifferent to temporary power. History remembers something else. It remembers builders. It remembers servants. It remembers those who united when division seemed easy. It remembers those who sacrificed when selfishness was tempting. It remembers those who planted trees under whose shade they knew they will never sit. We often ask South Africa that it owes us. Perhaps history is asking a different question. What do we owe our country? What do we owe those who came before us? What do we owe to those yet unborn? What debt do we owe the workers, the teachers, the activists, the mothers, the fathers, laborers, and freedom fighters whose sacrifices built a democracy they themselves will never fully enjoy? Nations endure when each generation repays the debt through service. That is our collective duty. That is our responsibility. That is the assignment of history. Let us therefore leave this gathering this evening not merely inspired. Let us live committed to unity, committed to service, committed to humility, committed to dialogue, committed to rebuilding trust with our people, committed to restoring purpose, committed to renewing hope, committed to unfinished work of freedom. Because the South Africa that we inherited was built by people who believed in a future that they will never fully see. Do we possess that courage? When future generations ask what we did with the freedom that we inherited, will they say we consumed it or expanded it? Will they say we divided or united? Will they say we occupied positions or built a nation? Will they say we protected ourselves or served our people? The answer to those questions is not being written by history. It is being written right here, now, in our lifetime. And in the choices that we make from this day forward, may we choose unity over division. May we choose service over selfishness. May we choose country over fiction and faction. May we choose future over fear. May we, the future generations, one day say of us, when that moment came, they did not shrink from history. They rose to meet it. For history does not belong to those who inherit nations. History belongs to those who build it, and building it in unity. I thank you.
Yeah, trust me, we are still going to party once we are done with the deliberations. Thank you so much to Mr. Jeff Hadebe, the former convener of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Inspiring words, also reflecting as to the building blocks that we will use to bring about the unity that is all needed at this time. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, there was an acknowledgement that was made earlier of the convener of ANC NEC deployees. It gives me great pleasure to invite him to deliver the message from the National Executive Committee, Mr. Dixon Masemula. Asemshayela ihlombe.
Oliver Tambo, Bambi Sandasa, Oliver Tambo. Oliver Tambo, Besandla Sam, 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 Inasiyeke, Besandla Sam, Oliver Tambo, Besandla Sam, Oliver Tambo, Besandla Sam, Oliver Tambo, Besandla Sam, Inasiyeke, Besandla Sam, Oliver Tambo,
Thank you very much, directors of the program. A very good evening to the presiding priest, the chaplain of the province, and other religious leaders representing different gathered in this important meeting tonight. Words of greetings to the provincial convener of the PTT, Comrade Mike Mabuya Kulu, and the provincial coordinator, Comrade James Numalo, and other members of the provincial task team present here this evening. Words of greetings to my colleagues, members of the National Executive Committee present here, Comrade Togo, Comrade Steve, Dr. Maswanganye, Mdumseni Nduli, Comrade Fosia, and Jabulon Zuza. Members of the provincial task team, including regions, represented by their leaders who are part of this historic occasion. Comrade Jeff and His Excellency, Comrade Spundabele, and other diplomats who are part of this occasion tonight, representing various countries through either diplomatic or consul services. Leaders of royalty, represented by our royal leaders who are here representing various communities, including formations of our royal leaders in the province. The convener of eThekwini, RTT Upotlangomo, together with your collective that is here tonight. Alliance leaders of COSATU, of SANCO, in particular the Treasurer General of SANCO who is here, Comrade Judith Nemazinga Chabalala, and Comrade Temba Mtembu, former peers of the SACP, and all other leaders of the Youth League, of the Veterans League, of the Women's League, MKLWVA, PYA, business leaders, and all of you comrades, fellow South Africans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing before you tonight on behalf of the National Executive Committee to appreciate this auspicious occasion convened in the life of the ANC in this province, nationally, to come and demonstrate the political health and life of this gigantic organization of the people of this country. We're meeting here tonight as leaders of the ANC, of the Alliance, and various formations that are existing in this province, mindful of the fact that we are indeed meeting tonight in the land of His Majesty and the Kingdom of KwaZulu-Natal, on whose behalf we remain committed to a cause of national justice as we traverse together with them in their royalty to lead our people from various corners of this beautiful land, the Republic of South Africa. We are gathered here tonight coming from different generations and collectives of leadership of the movement that played a significant role in the struggle for freedom, liberation, and democracy, and still continue to lead the movement and society under the current political conditions. We are standing tonight and forevermore on the shoulders of great heroes and heroines of our struggle for freedom and democracy, whose contributions in the chain of the struggle shall forever remain etched in our souls and minds and written very articulately in the history books of this movement. We are meeting here to appreciate their role and commit ourselves in our collective, in our mandates, that their cause shall remain on track and shall never be betrayed. We are meeting here tonight as the political force in this province of the African National Congress for continuous organizational and political improvement on the state of the ANC, empowered by the tools of analysis and our strategy and tactics to demonstrate our capabilities to disrupt the prevailing networks established with contrary tendencies to complicate the political life of the African National Congress. We're gathered here tonight, comrades, informed by our critical sensibility to negate the displayed negative intentions and guarantee our people that the revolution led by the ANC and its alliance is still on track, and that the organization is the only legitimate formation in this country with a clear political program historically guided by the Freedom Charter that was adopted by our forebears in 1955. We're meeting tonight here appreciating as the NEC, convened by the leadership of this province, led by Comrade Mike Mabuya Kulu and Comrade James Nxumalo, to come and rekindle, heighten our collective efforts and political endeavors in pursuit of the strategic objectives of building a non-racial, non-sexist, united, democratic, and prosperous society, guided by the theory of our revolution. This meeting, therefore, tonight is constituted by all leaders of this province. And beyond your presence here tonight, it could probably be very few comrades who are not gathered in this hall. It means, therefore, that almost every comrade and leader of the ANC in this province are in this hall tonight. Meaning, there is no one except yourselves who defend this movement and this revolution and reset organizational and political systems to serve the people of this country and defend our revolution. The National Executive Committee has full confidence in all of you as the provincial task team, regional task teams, sub-regions, branches, and as well as alliance structures. And we're looking forward to your hard work in the revival of the structures of this organization and prepare it for the electoral processes, both in terms of the upcoming municipal elections and probably thereafter organizational rebuilding. And so far, we are very confident and appreciative of the efforts demonstrated in carrying this organizational task without any failure. You are indeed on track, and be assured of the support of the National Executive Committee. Our primary intentions gathered here tonight is to recognize and appreciate your roles in the life of your organization that you love so much, the African National Congress. In occasion, our individual and collective contributions in the never-ending political responsibility of building a strong African National Congress. Given the national task and historical mandate bestowed upon us of renewal and rebuilding of the ANC, for it not to lose its gloriousness in the political landscape of this country. This remains our organizational collective assignment, and not singularly for those in structures of which it demands of us to make sure that we work very hard to reposition the movement to continue to lead this great nation of the Republic of South Africa. This province, therefore, comrades, firstly, breathes life in the body politic of the African National Congress, given its character and the role it has played in the struggle against colonialism and apartheid, and its numerical strength, without which our revolution shall be dream deferred, something we cannot imagine, because we believe the setback we have suffered would be addressed by our humble service to the people with integrity and as well as discipline. Secondly, the leadership gathered here tonight, it is responsible for the management of the second largest economy in the Republic of South Africa after Gauteng, of which it is followed by Western Cape Province. This province, therefore, is the leading backbone of our national economy. Hence, the NEC and the ANC's preoccupation on the socio-economic conditions of our people, led by His Excellency President Matamela Ramaphosa, that we shall never fail in the rebuilding of our economy and create conditions conducive for our people for their own livelihood. The above 2 points, therefore, comrades, account for our preoccupation with the state of the organization in this province and as well as countrywide. Like I have said, that you are on track in reconnecting with the people of this country and rebuilding the ANC. We are very confident that the ANC will remain the only force, and it shall continue to be more stronger and continue to lead this country for yet another century, if not 100 years to come. Therefore, this engagement tonight is a turning point and a high point in the province and in the African National Congress. For us, as the current leaders of the movement, confronted by the contemporary realities, we need to poster the organizational capacity to negate the existential challenges with confidence without any fear. That in our lifetime and beyond, this heritage of the South African people, the ANC, shall be preserved and defended against enemies of social transformation. Comrades, the journey we have traveled for the past 82 years of struggle against colonialism and apartheid since the formation of the ANC in 1912 brought about the ushering in of the democratic project through the 1994 democratic breakthrough as a result of the successful implementation of the 4 basic pillars of the struggle that were adopted at the Morogoro Conference in 1969 and well articulated in the strategy and tactics of the ANC, carried and implemented during the difficult periods of the struggle. Honestly, with discipline and dedication, freedom fighters endured different conditions during those times and liberated this country. Today, gathered here, under conditions of legality and state power, we cannot fail to defend the national democratic revolution in the interests of the primary motive force, the working class and the poor, the downtrodden masses of our country, who regard this organization as the only political instrument for social progress and nothing else. Comrades, we have a duty, gathered here and going forward, to reassert the organizational momentum given the slight tempering that we have experienced with the potential to derail our revolutionary agenda, and this cause requires all of us. We note the eventuality which impacted our presence at the national democratic seat of our democracy, Parliament of the Republic of South Africa, and this province in particular, and everywhere else where our presence was tampered with the resultant effects of delaying progress and outpacing us from the gravity of systems to serve the people. Revolutionaries under these circumstances don't focus on setbacks, but rather remain focused on the ultimate objectives and refuse disappointments in failures and not allow complacence in successes, the latter of which is what we are learning. Out of our complacency, we are learning a lot, and going forward, we will most probably do much better. We're meeting here tonight, comrades, fully conscious of the balance of forces, both domestically and internationally, and mindful of the activities of the enemies of our revolution, demonstrating their zeal to abort the people's revolution. These political and social forces are emboldened by the outcomes of the 2024 national and provincial elections, which led to the establishment of a form of government we didn't expect or anticipate, though we occupy a strategic role of center in the governance equation of this country. Counter-revolution, comrades, is emboldened, flexing its muscles through forces resident in this country, challenging almost every legislative and policy transformative framework we introduce, competing the standing of the movement by claiming that they are doing much better than us, and they are indeed committed to the reduction of the movement to a secondary player in the political mainstream of this country. The space we occupy is a necessary platform. We should continue to use this platform to serve our people much better. Give them water, better healthcare services, give them better roads, housing, safety and security. Together with them, fight gender-based violence and femicide, and forge ahead with societal leadership responsibility and governance of this country. And uppermost to that is the required resilience and steadfastness of the movement, a function we must perform without failure. Hence, we are meeting here tonight as Comrade James Nxumalo gave us the purpose of this evening. In this regard, therefore, comrades, we are meeting tonight here to appreciate the role comrades are playing and continue to play. Your leadership role is not felt only when you are in leadership positions, because principles of organizational democracy enjoin leaders and cadres of the movement to fulfill their responsibilities through commitment, loyalty, respect for others, and ensure the democratic character of the organization. And both alike, elected and unelected leaders, have to intensify accountability, consultation, and collective management of the organization, recognizing the existing capabilities and capacities within the movement. We are here, therefore, comrades, tonight to appraise and sharpen each other about the political developments and the need to ignite everyone into action of magnitude never imagined and trigger a wave of activism in this province and in the entire country as we re-emerge from what we experienced in 2024. This epoch-making responsibility requires a strong and united alliance to consolidate our presence in every square inch of this country. However, and despite the contemporary related divergent perspectives on tactical matters of securing and consolidating our presence in every part of the country and advance the NDR without any failure, we shall triumph against any form of adversity. And the weight of the organization's presence in townships, in villages, in informal settlements and urban areas of this country shall be felt, shall not be avoided. Whatever the manifestations in different forms are not products of strategic conceptualization, but the results of the need to demonstrate emotional intelligence, which often in moments of this nature is provided in little doses because of an inelastic scenario setting, a main ingredient that any leadership cannot afford not to have. We have been taught, comrades, and we continue to be taught, that all systems do have inherent contradictions that create potential for change, and therefore ours unity and transformative power to build a strong movement and not weaken it to allow those with bad intentions to succeed. This confluence of ideological synergy, correctly represented by the character of the movement, should be protected beyond any reasonable doubt, because what President Josiah Changana Gumete conceptualized in the early 20s must remain in force, and it must never be betrayed. We must remain confident that solutions to related tactical issues of differences shall be found to once again have a strong alliance occasion to advance the realities of this country. As we are meeting here tonight, comrades, we must continue to build trust, deepen the basis of values-based leadership to demonstrate high ethical standards and leadership with integrity, transform our weaknesses into organizational strength, our challenges into opportunities, inspire confidence in the movement, unleash the great potential of cadres, of activists and members of the ANC into an unstoppable wave. All of us are organizers, and we should demonstrate our organizing skills, continue to provide leadership, talk to the people, clarify complex issues affecting the organization, share skills and infrastructure, educate and empower, agitate and guide, campaign and lead. It takes organizers, comrades, to make a revolution. This gathering, therefore, tonight is meant to coordinate and enhance freedom-defending forces for a lifetime defense of the people's movement, the African National Congress. This revolutionary act requires solid leadership that is free from possible features that might divert its attention. At this point in time of our leadership mandate, we cannot afford amongst ourselves trivial issues informed by sectoral interests to confuse comrades and embark on a never-ending internal battles, whereas the revolution requires our collective leadership. Unity of the ANC is paramount for growth and development of this beautiful land. It is therefore not an optional necessity, but a primary demand which all of us are expected to demonstrate. Looking at the attendance here tonight and the events that we have attended in this province in the past few weeks, and those that have taken place yesterday and today, where members of the ANC participated, undisputably, throughout the length and breadth of our country, there are winds of life, of warmth and comfort felt by every South African and the general membership of the ANC. These winds of comfort and love are blown from this province, appreciated by all, that the ANC of Langalibalele Dube, the ANC of Sfako Magatu, of Unkosi Albert Lituli, Oliver Reginald Tambo, Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela, Lawrence Pukanuka, Albertina Sisulu, Winnie Mandela, Lillian Ngoyi, Charlotte Maxeke, Dr. Fringe Nwala, Amina Gachalia, Fatima Mia, Rahima Musa, Mark Shop of Joslovo, of Dennis Goldberg, Beas Notier, of Thabo Mbeki, of Sophie de Bruyn, of President Matamela Ramaphosa is unstoppable in reoccupying its rightful place, guided by values of humbleness, of humility, service to the people, discipline, love and care. In fact, values-based leadership being the cornerstone of the renewal of the African National Congress. Beyond any reasonable doubt, comrades, come the 4th of November 2026, we will reclaim the lost municipal jurisdictions we once governed in this province and elsewhere in the country without any failure. His moment tonight is not just a meeting for us to come together, but is a demonstration of our electoral strategy and plans that we are loudly articulating for our people to be with us. This gala dinner, therefore, tonight is a strategic platform of the movement to map a very clear way forward with confidence to talk to the people of this province and the country at large, that working together, we shall indeed re-emerge from all the setbacks. As I move toward closing, comrades, now, it is very clear that from here, when we leave this gala dinner tonight, as part of the renewal of the ANC, we must re-engineer our ideological narrative and restore moral and ethical presence in society. We must rebuild the basic units of the organization, launch branches, and have functional structures of the ANC that are placed at the service of the people. We are going to recruit and organize people to join the ANC and be part of its political life. We are going to engage those who left the movement to come back, because it is only in the ANC where there is comfort, where there is love, where there is certainty, where there is future. As it is normally said, it is cold outside the ANC. Strengthen the movement to make sure that it does not become shaken. We are going to ensure that every member of the ANC and all former leaders of the organization from various levels of the movement are part and parcel of renewal, of rebuilding. They are part and parcel of the electoral work, participate in their branch meetings and areas of deployment where the PTT, the RTT will be giving them assignments to undertake. We are going to strengthen our working relations with royal leaders, with religious leaders, and many other formations in the country and this province in particular. In fact, we need a broad-based collaborative networks and invest our energies in civil society and grassroots movements. The public enthusiasm demonstrated recently throughout the country by our people represents the existence of dual power that needs management strategy and objective response to the expectations of our people. The Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, in addressing this particular matter, giving position of the National Executive Committee in this regard, he said that every public displeasure on matters of illegality is not xenophobic. And it is not xenophobia, because South Africans are not xenophobic. And as such, we remain committed to work together with every South African who is concerned about the sovereignty of their own state, the rule of law, political stability, and the survival of the livelihood of our people to work together. We are going to be very close with those structures. We are going to be working very close with community-based organizations, non-governmental bodies, and individual South Africans. We are going to make sure that we are present in every household and continue to visit them in persons, and through varied means of outreach and communications, be with them at all times. Finally, we should and are going to occupy every square inch of this country. Come the 4th of November, victory of the People's Movement, the African National Congress, is certain. Isende lendlela isifuna sonke. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Message from the NEC delivered by Mr. Dixon Masemola, the convener of the ANC deployees. And I almost cringed the last phrase that you used. With a slight change of tone, the message would have been ambiguous. So you had to do a great deal of rehearsal to get it right. So of course, being a non-isiZulu speaker, a slight change of tone would have changed the whole message to the other direction. Thank you very much. Siyabonga kakhulu ngaleyo message. Siyabonga. Ladies and gentlemen, we started late, but I think we are managing time very well. So at this point, we will rush into getting into the keynote address. When I introduced the former convener who delivered a talk about the unity of the ANC, you could see that his resume spans across all departments and portfolios. So it's almost similar to our next speaker, the convener, who joined the KZN legislature in 1994, having served in various portfolios, but his political career started in the labor movement. And he has been at some point, he was the treasurer of the ANC in the province. And he also served as the deputy chair in KwaZulu-Natal. And most recently, he was the coordinator. And he has also served in various portfolios from public works to economic affairs, not economic development, economic affairs. At some point, he was the MEC for housing, and later on, COCTA, and most recently, economic development, tourism, and environmental affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome the convener of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Michael Mabiakolo. He will give us a keynote address. Let's give him that respect. Asimshayele ihlombe. Ndiyema.
Good evening to the core program directors. Let me greet you, Sisi Joy Mbewan, Shop, Nino Alex Mtian. Well, program directors, honored veterans of our liberation struggle, Amakosi Asenjunkulu, Aparatiwetu, the leaders of the alliance, the ACCP, COSATU, and SANCO, in particular COSATU and SANCO. I also want to recognize the leagues of the ANC Youth League, the Women's League, the Veterans League, the Democratic Movement, and all of us who are present, ikakhulukazi, ngifuna ukubingelela amabutho okuyingubo yokwembatha yamakhosi esizwe. Siyanibingelela mabutho, ngicela siwa. We think it is important that we also should realize and recognize all of the interfaith leaders who are present in our midst, the labor, civil society, religious formations, the professionals, esteemed guests, comrades, and compatriots. Allow us to start by stating what has been stated before. We extend a hearty welcome to all of you. Welcome home. Kwambutho wesizwe ekhaya lethu. Siyanamukela nonke njengoba besenamukela. That is the only way we know how to begin tonight, because that is precisely what this gathering is. It is homecoming for all of us. This is not a dinner in the ordinary sense. This evening is homecoming of the movement's family here in KwaZulu-Natal, called together at a moment that history will record as one of the deliberate, determined, and joyful renewal. When we cast our eyes around this room, we see veterans who gave their youth and made a huge sacrifices so that this country could be free. We see comrades who have held the flag of this movement across decades of sacrifice. We see women and men from business, from various faiths, from the practical floor, from the classroom, from the creative industries, and from the heart of our communities. We see progressive professionals who have been at the heart of transforming our society, ensuring that all of us enjoy a place in the sun. We see public servants who run administration driven by bold ambition to build developmental, ethical, and truly capable state. We have different faiths, and we practically express the tolerance and respect that are hallmarks of a democratic dispensation. We see young people who carry within them the fire of a generation that refuses to be told that the best of South Africa is behind us. We see members of the Congress movement and our Revolutionary Alliance. We see the revolutionary trade union sector, those who keep our economy churning and the home fires burning. We see civic organizations that care deeply about the well-being of their communities and the future of our country. With this evening, we see our leaders, compatriots and comrades, and friends in all their splendor, and we dare say, it is good. Sithi kuhle ukubona umndeni wakwethu uhlangane ngale ndlela ohlangane ngayo. Sithi kuhle. So this gathering is not an accident, but is intentional. This gathering is a conscious act of political will by the African National Congress. And in that act, something important has already been said before a single speech was even delivered or spoken. That the ANC is visible, that the ANC is present, that the ANC lives, and the ANC leads. We are a living organization. Siyinhlangano ephilayo, sikhona, osibukela phansi usazosibona. Comrades and friends, we have all heard the prophecies. We have read the headlines and the commentary. We have enjoyed the analysis, the polling projections, the political autopsies conducted on a movement that, according to certain voices, is finished, spent, and consigned to history. To the contrary, we are making a bold statement. And this room is the proof. Thina esila singofakazi bokuthi umbutho wesizwe namadlela ndawonye awo nabo bonke abakhona bafuna inqubekela phambili la kwaZulu Natal umbutho wesizwe usekhona futhi uyaphila. The ANC in KwaZulu Natal is not a memory. It is a living, breathing, organizing force. This movement has endured through repression, exile, and the treacherous waters of the underground. It has navigated the consuming fire of political violence and faced every electoral contest in this province. The ANC has survived challenges that would have destroyed lesser movements. It is not invincible. It is rooted. It is rooted in the aspirations of ordinary people. It is rooted in the ideals of the Freedom Charter. It is rooted in the conviction that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. The roots of the ANC in KwaZulu Natal run deep. They are woven into the history of this province. Our present general, Chief Albert Luthuli, accepted the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of our people. The courage of the Mxenges, Comrade Griffiths, and Victoria exemplified the struggle for justice. Thousands of ordinary men and women in townships and rural communities, kept flame alive, even in times of mortal danger. We honor them by being here tonight. We refuse the narrative that the ANC has no role in modeling the future of our dreams. Comrades and friends and compatriots, the current generation of ANC leaders understands a couple of facts. First, the first fact, we are acutely aware of the fact that the ANC does not belong to its current leaders. Leaders come and go, but the ANC endures. The ANC belongs to the millions who have passed away, the millions who are alive today, and the millions yet to be born. For them, the movement serves as their true north and a beacon of hope. We understand that the ANC is not just for South Africans. It represents a broader global community. It embodies the hopes of millions around the world who strive for a fair and equitable and a prosperous political and socio-economic system. The second fact, we appreciate that every day the ANC must, through word and deed, earn the title of being the leader of our people and our nation. We understand that we do not lead only our members, but critically lead the execution of the most ambitious national democratic project in the recent history. This calls on us to be far-sighted and pragmatic about the direction our country takes. The third fact, as architects of this democratic order, we appreciate our responsibility to protect even when it does not serve our interests. This calls on us to be honest, even when political expediency seems to be an easy route. Unlike some, we cannot tell lies and claim easy victories. We must always be honest with our people because the revolution is far more important than our ambitions. The fourth fact, we exist to serve our people, not to be served by them. The ANC was not built so that its leaders could enjoy privileges of office. It was not built to accumulate personal wealth or to be a springboard for individual advancement. It was not built so that a mother in a rural village could send her child to school with a full stomach, so that a young person in a township could find dignified work, so that an elderly woman could access health care without walking many kilometers. Service is not a slogan we invoke at election time. It is the standard against which we are judged every single day. When we lose sight of this, we do not merely fail our members, but we would be undoing centuries of sacrifice. The fifth fact, unity is not an organizational convenience. It is a revolutionary necessity. We are all enjoined by the demands of the moment to forge maximum unity of our movement. We therefore need each and every member, each and every supporter, each and every renewal, each and every person to be part of a renewal and rebuilding of our movement. We need everyone in the election campaign. This is not the period for us to mire in debate and endless discussions. The task of the movement is to serve our people and to run an effective election campaign. Our first task, therefore, in that regard, is to go out and to register our people in their numbers in this province, so that come the 4th of November, we can win the elections and win it decisively. The sixth fact is that the ANC is the greatest asset, has never been the state. It has never been an electoral majority, but it is the trust and the moral authority we hold in the hearts of ordinary South Africans. That trust was earned across generations through sacrifice, discipline, and selfless dedication to a cause greater than any individual. It cannot be squandered in a single term of poor governance or moral decay. We carry the weight of that history, not as a burden, but as a compass, one that must always point us back to the people, back to the founding promise of a free, just, equal, prosperous South Africa. And comrades and friends, we leave these facts not as cliches, but as anchors for the work that still needs to be done. So as we move forward, honest and revolutionary morality becomes important. Comrades and friends, we admit that for the last 32 years, the ANC in government has made significant strides. In 30 years of democratic governance, the ANC has delivered a record that speaks for itself. We need to remind the nation of this, because if we don't say it, no one will. Let us say it. Electricity access has grown from 36% to 95%. Adult literacy has risen to 95.5%. The economy has expanded from a nominal GDP of $140 billion to more than $400 billion, where Black South Africans made up a mere 7% of the middle class in 1994. Now we stand more than 41%. Global trade has increased by 280%. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange has grown by over 8,000%. And South Africa has gone from a country with a minimal regional investment to the largest investor on the African continent. From the ruins of an internationally isolated pariah state, we have built a respected global player. We have come far. At the same time, we also recognize the fact that we carry the sins of incumbency. As a learning organization, we have learned from ourselves and we learn from others. We continue to learn every day, but we are clear that the best is still yet to come. Let us tell you what KwaZulu-Natal needs from its political leadership. It needs a local government that works. It needs an economy that grows, whose spoils are shared amongst all our people. It needs safety and stability. It needs leadership that takes societal challenges seriously. It needs a Congress movement that is loyal to its mission, one that is able to introspect, take corrective measures. We have come here to declare that we are that Congress movement. As I conclude, let me therefore go to each and every person in this room and beyond. We want to speak directly to every constituency represented in this gathering and beyond. To our veterans and stalwarts, your presence in this room is not ceremonial. You are the living proof of what this movement is capable of when it is at its best. We ask you not simply to remember, but we ask you to guide and hold us to the standard of those who came before us. To the business community, the ANC seeks a partnership with you, and we know that investment follows stability, that economic growth requires a functioning state, and that a growing economy serves our people's goals as surely as it serves your goals in business. KwaZulu-Natal potential is extraordinary. We should be unlocking it together. To the labor movement particularly, you are, and you have always been, among the most important motive forces of progressive change in our country. The alliance is a strategic necessity, and we recommit as the provincial leadership of KwaZulu-Natal tonight to work with you. The interests of workers and the aspiration of the national democratic revolutions are inseparable. We work together. To civil society, to our religious leaders, to our professionals and community organizations, you reach people and places that political parties cannot. You carry credibility that is earned through daily presence and service. We ask you to be our partners in the project of building this province into what it can be. The ANC seeks your partnership and commits to earning your loyalty by working closely with you. So the road ahead, comrades and friends, this evening marks the beginning of the intensified engagements between our movement and the various sectors of society and the community at large to address social challenges, to catalyze and accelerate inclusive growth and development. From this evening, the work goes back into the villages, into the townships, into the suburbs, into the informal settlements, into the wards, into the streets, into the community meetings, and door-to-door conversations that are real engine of our movement. The ANC is preparing for local government elections with seriousness that those elections demand. But we are not preparing merely to contest. We are preparing to consolidate where we govern. We are preparing to be the majority where we are co-governing. We are preparing to wrest power where we are in the opposition. We will go into these elections not with a practical, people-centered manifesto, but with a credible record of communities where we have already made a difference and a clear, honest account of where we intend to do better. That is the standard we are setting for ourselves. And we invite everyone in our province to hold us to that standard. Through this evening, we invite everyone to be part of the Congress movement, to build a better life for all our people. We therefore are making a clarion call to the entire Congress movement and to the progressive forces in our nation. We say to you, Pezguabo African National Congress, Pezguabo. Pezguabo African National Congress, Pezguabo. Batate ANC, batate. Batate ANC, batate. Siyabangena sumbutho wesizwe siyabangena. Siyabangena sumbutho wesizwe siyabangena. Pezguabo ANC, Pezguabo. Siyabonga.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much to Comrade Undiema. Sekufike kule stage esimnandi. Ekade ngisikhalela ngihleli la. Ungathi abantu vele sebeya kuma stations. So kufanele sisondele khona. Bekuzoqala amakhosi, National Executive Leadership. Then iband izoqhubeka idlale. And thank you so much to the African National Congress for organizing such a prestigious event. And thank you, Mtian, to the lovely band. It's our time to play. Thank you so much for the wonderful work that you have done. You are amazing. Kintandan, siqhubekeni. Sasingayodla, dla. Siqhubeke. Thank you, Sianda. Khalise. Sicela nikhalisele iband izoqhubeka idlala. They are available for bookings.